Oftentimes, we need to execute a set of statements multiple times. And so if we want to execute instructions over and over again until some condition is met, we do that through loops. Loops are a way to execute a set of statements multiple times, and there are different ways to write loops. While loops, for loops, and repeat loops are ways that we can execute a set of statements or instructions multiple times. I will now show you how a while loop is written. A while loop takes the following generalized structure. While some condition is being evaluated, perform the set of instructions present within the curly braces. While that is the generalized description of a while loop, one can break it down to say that the while loop has three important components. The first component of a while loop is the place where the loop should start. The condition is for us to instruct the loop when it should terminate. And within the curly braces, we have to have some manner of moving the loop towards the terminating condition. For instance, let us think of having a loop count up from 1 to the number 10. In this case, our starting condition or our initialization information is the value of a variable. Let's call that variable I, whose value starts at 1. This is I equal to 1 allows us to initialize the loop, to kick it off from a certain point. The condition in our case that we would like to evaluate is if I has reached the value 10. And so we shall say while I is less than or equal to the value 10, we are going to perform a set of instructions. The set of instructions that we are going to do is we are going to print the value of I. In this case, I'm going to print out the value of I. Now, I need to move I, which starts off at the value 1, towards the value 10. Otherwise, I will get a series of 1s because I is 1 and 1 is in fact less than 10. If I wrote this loop and executed it, we would see a series of 1s show up. Let's take a look. I have initialized the loop with I, the value 1. And since this is a complete loop, I'm going to select the entire block of code and I'm going to run it. And you're going to see that I have a value of 1s just repeating continuously. And I'm going to stop this right here. Notice that it's just a series of values 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And so obviously this is a problem because 1 is always going to be less than 10, and so it's always going to print 1 out. What I need to do is I need to move that 1 towards the value 10. And so after I print out that value of I will be doing the following. I will be incrementing I. I will say I is equal to I plus 1. What this does is after printing out the value of I, it increments I by 1, giving it the next time around the value 2. 2 being less than 10, I still print out I, and I increment I by 1 once again, now having the value 3, and so on and so forth. And so the loop executes till I is equal to the value 10, and once it reaches the value 11, there is no more printing out of the value of I. So let's run this once again. Initialize I equal to 1, select the loop, run the code, and we see that I have values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When I is 11, 11 is greater than 10, and so I exit the loop. This, very simply, is how one can use a loop to form repetitive behavior. Here are 3 problems for you to work on. Write a loop to sum up numbers from 1 to 10. So what is the value of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10? Use the loop to perform the calculation. The second example, write a loop that prints out the 10 times table for x. So x is 23, x by 1 is 23, x by 2 is 46, and so on and so forth. The last example for you to work on, using loops, print out the 10 times table for numbers from 1 to 5. What that means is print out the 10 times table for 1, print out the 10 times table for the number 2, for 3, for 4, for 5. Working through these examples will help you understand how loops function and ways we can use them.